Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Foxy Box's map making with Sparks. Today we are going to be doing some modelling, specifically mouth shapes. Oh baby! So we've got our intro animation for this game, which is cutscenes and things like that, and we have a support character as well as the first-person main player, Reposer. We've got Renard, who's the support character, who's a fox. Now, with the scripting for this intro animation and any other animations that we might do for the game, I think it would be nice to lip sync the character's mouth shapes, his face shapes, to the words that are coming out of said face. So I have done face animation before. I've done two-dimensional rudimentary lip syncing in the past, and this is from an old project of mine. So these are the 7 mouth shapes, which you can use to indicate different vowels and consonants and things like that. So this is obviously in 2D. So we've got the A and I. I'm just kind of making the mouth shape with my mouth as I say them here. We've got the E, the Y, and the H, which is showing the teeth a bit more. You've got the F and the V. We've got the L with the tongue showing. You can see that if I maximize it here. And we've got the M, B, and P, which is like a closed mouth, the rounded sort of O sounds, and everything else. I can sort of open these up like this as well. They're a little bit hard to see because of the black background. But this is a 2D cartoon style version of these mouth shapes. Now the challenge here is A, this is in 3D, and B, foxes have got muzzles. They've got extended mouth parts, which are nothing like this. So the challenge here is going to be to make, hopefully in this episode, make seven different muzzle models that we can stick on an armor stand and switch between with that sort of mimic these mouth shapes, but in 3D on a muzzle. So that's kind of the goal of today's episode, and then recording a little bit of like lip syncing it to a short sound clip to see how it looks. So some of you may have seen the Renard model that I've had in the world. This model was made by Rotten Nugget, who I met at Minecon, and who very kindly made me the fox model for use in this map. But as well as the entire fox, I asked him to provide models for the entire thing. So there's the full model, but the head model we actually have right here. So let's open it up and have a look and see what it looks like. So we've got our whoop. Oh, that's interesting. Unable to discuss with bdcraft.net. I get this error sometimes. I swear I bought the software. 1 second, I think I need to restart bdcraft. Well, here's take 2. We've got our head model here, and it looks pretty cute, pretty nice. The texturing, I believe we should be able to pull those in. Let me see if I can do that. There we go. Isn't he cute? Such a cutie. So we've got a muzzle to work with here, and boy, this is gonna be fun. So yeah, we've got the nice model. Let's just have a quick look and see how this looks on the head of an armor stand, because I think what we're gonna have to do is, for the model, we're gonna have to put several armor stands in the same spot and move them all at once, and then have a separate armor stand just wearing the mouth for the head, because I kind of want the eyes to be a bit more expressive as well. So we'll remove the eyes from the main head model, and then we'll be able to animate those separately to get a bit more emotion and expression into this. Now, one of the biggest difficulties I've found while, because I've been doing a lot of storyboarding for this game and a lot of working out how to do that stuff, is that Minecraft is very difficult to be expressive in, because it's so blocky and it's not really designed for animation or anything like that. So these are the things we have to contend with. Yeah. You know what? I think I'm going to delete the ears as well, because I think with animals, ears are quite often used as an extra indication of mood, you know, raising them when he's happy and sort of lowering them when they're sad or scared. So I think we might actually remove those and remove them and use them as a separate thing again. So we'll have to see how this goes. The eyes are part of the texture, so we can just leave those and we can edit them out later and replace them with our own eyes, which is great. So our first model, the B and P model, which was this one, is done, which is basically the one that he already had, mouth shut. So we can export that, and yay, 1 of 7 done. Fantastic. Now the next easiest here is probably going to be this one here, the everything else, which is the open mouth showing teeth. So what I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to shrink this muzzle cube down so that it stops here, create a new cube with the underside texture, put it below and just raise it, lower it a little bit so there's a gap, and then put a white cube inside for the teeth kind of thing. I think that'll do the trick. Okay, he looks pretty happy. So the texturing reshaped itself when I dragged it. I believe I can use this. Oh, it's opened over here. This thing here to change that so that the mapping pulls from a different point. I think I have a slight problem here. Watch this. Okay, so this is the current mapping for the for one side of the cube. If I left click, you see how it grabs? I cannot choose the right size mapping. It snaps it to 2 points instead of 1. In fact, if I cancel this and reopen it and I try and move this mapping, I can't actually put it back to where it was before. So how the mapping was ever pointed to that position, I don't know. Older version of BDcraft? Am I doing something wrong? Can I move it with my WASD? Nope. Can I move it with my arrow keys? Yes, but again, it's still snapping to this offset grid. Oops. That one was fine. That one is fine. This one is not. What if I only move it with the arrow keys? Maybe that's the trick. Yeah, that works. Okay, I got rid of the black lines in the snout. I've used part of the arm texture for the underside of his mouth for now. We'll probably need some proper texturing for the inside of that, although we are going to fill it with a cube later anyway. Now we need to make a new cube. I've forgotten all of my everything for this, actually, to be honest. So I'm going to add a cube. I'm going to work out how to get it over here. You know what? Instead of creating a new cube and having to map the correct texture to it, I'm going to duplicate the top of the mouth and do it that way, because then the sides are going to be right. Oh, there we go. Lower mouth is in place. I guess that kind of worked. And then that's actually one of the mouths done, right? I think we need to possibly remap a tongue inside here, make it sort of redder rather than black, although maybe we should just make it black. And obviously the back here needs to be textured. Let's open this fox texture up in Photoshop. Right, here's the texture. So we can make ourselves a nice dark mouth texture in here. I'm doing a sort of a square ring of teeth so that I can pull, because I think the textures are going to draw mirrored, so I can pull the top half of this texture for the top of the mouth and the bottom half of the bottom mouth, sort of thing. I think that's too bright though. Let's try darker grey and slightly... So we can put this... in here. Oh, it did not like that. I think I may need to refresh it or something. There we go. Oh, that actually doesn't look too bad. And then we'll do the same with the top mouth. Haha! Look at me modelling! Texture-wise, it's fighting me again, so I'm going to move this down by a pixel, like... like so, maybe? Whoops. Well, okay, sure. Bad. Not bad, look at that. I think the mouth needs to be widened at the back here a little bit by, what is that, a pixel, I guess. It's a very surprised looking fox, isn't it? There we go. Okay, cool. So actually, if we look at this in edit mode, it's a bit high up off the head. So we're going to lower it down, and we need to do this with the other head that we modelled earlier as well. Oh dear, look at that. What if it should be scaled up a little bit? Okay, fair enough. So this rescaling, we need to make sure that we enable for export so that it'll actually save, and we need to go do that same thing with the other one. I'm just going to write down those scalings and translations so that I don't forget. The only pencil I can find right now is a sort of beigey pink crayon, so hopefully I can still read that afterwards. Minus 1.5 in a beautiful pink. Minus 22y. Wow, I can barely see that. Why do I have this crayon and 3 in the Z? 3. Good. Okay. That's interesting. I just imported the mbp model, which is the first one we did earlier with the incorrect offset, and it's remembered my settings from before. I just used file import, so it's even ticked enable for export. So I think simply exporting this is going to scale it in the right place. It's kind of weird, but okay, fine. It forgets where the texture is every time. Okay, so now we can do the we've got our I, A and I, and we've got our mbp, which is this one. So next I reckon we should do the closed teeth one, which is probably going to be pretty simple. Pretty much just putting a cube inside here. And then for the L one, which we can see here, I reckon we can probably just try and sort of stick a tongue at the bottom and show the teeth at the top, maybe? Might work well. Right, so I've just cloned the bottom jaw, and I'm now messing everything up. Trying to shrink it down some. There we go, pull it forward, and then we should be able to do that twice. Move it over this way once. I think we already pulled it back one. That should be all we need to do there, and then we should be able to just drop it in here. Yes. Yeah, I guess that works. I don't know why, but this is incredibly freaky. You know what's really weird about BDcraft? If you select an element and you go to edit, it gives you a text box that you can click where you can't change the values in the box. Like, why? This would be the perfect place. No, you have to right click on this and go element, set position. So if I want to make, I'm trying to move this Y, these teeth up like half a pixel. So at the moment it's minus 5.5. So if I change the Y to minus 5.25, maybe we can offset it. Well, that didn't really seem to work very well at all. And undo doesn't work. Great. Enter the offset to move selected elements. Oh, I see. I was setting it to an absolute. So let's try doing 0.25, not 0.25, and see what happens to it. Hey, it does. So now I've got the teeth showing at the top, and we should be able to create a second cube element underneath that acts as the tongue, I think. So we'll make it kind of slightly smaller than the teeth and pinker. Okay, so I've kind of inset the tongue now, so it's inside the teeth, and it's pretty good. I'm kind of tempted to put some sort of sharp incisors in there. I don't know whether I want to though. We'll leave it like that for now. It's pretty good. That's a nice la. You know what? I feel like there was a texture around the nose here before. I think I may have lost it. Yeah, there was. There's a bit of a grey texture at the front there. I'm not sure whether I like it anymore now that I've kind of gotten used to it without that, but I guess it's kind of a bigger nose. Makes more sense. If anyone can tell me why this snapping issue is happening, please let me know, because this is incredibly frustrating. Like to get this to be the right size. Because this cube is smaller than the previous cube, so it's scaling it, which means that the texture is pulling from a different... It's stretching the texture, basically. Sort of sound mouth? I'm just adding more and more different textures and things to this to get the mouth to look right. I am thinking that for all of these models so far, apart from the closed mouth one, the bottom jaw has been at the same height for all of them. But thinking about it, I think that they should be at different heights. Like is quite an open-jawed thing. E is a bit smaller, and then it could be a bit smaller still. And the jaw is pretty much closed here, so maybe we should go to at least and probably E. And make the bottom jaw a bit lower and see how that looks. Just a little bit. I think it'll help the jaw appear to be moving a bit more when he's talking. Otherwise, it's going to be sort of his jaw is going to be completely still with just like his teeth and lips bobbing up and down inside. So for the f mouth, the F mouth, if you do an F, you kind of you grab your lips between your teeth. So your top teeth are showing, your bottom teeth aren't, and you kind of pull your lip back a little bit. So I'm wondering whether we should get the bottom head portion here and actually move it back behind the teeth. That might look really weird though. We can give it a shot though and see what happens. It looks fairly fiffy. Let's go with that for our You know what, this has been a lot easier than I was expecting. I mean, it might still look crap, but it's looking like it's going to be easier. The only one left is sort of the O, which is going to be the most interesting because O's are kind of very much at the front of the mouth, and I can kind of imagine him pursing his lips all the way along here up to the front and then leaving the front kind of open for the O shape. And so far, that's going to be a bit harder to do, I think, with this sort of... Hey, is the muzzle at an angle? Oh, I think that's just the... I just think that's just the... It looks like this is slanted out so that the bottom is wider, but I think that's just the field of view playing tricks on my mind. Yeah, so the O... I'm just sort of making the shapes with my mouth. Join in with me, have fun. Join in with the mouth shapes. So the O, I could try putting another element through here most of the way along and then just leaving the front of the mouth open. Let's which mouth shape is closest to the O? I guess the R. Go with the R. So we'll reopen that model. And then, I guess we put another cube in here and map it to the same color as the rest of the mouth. We could try that. Slide the mouth into the mouth. The front is black, and the sides are orange. Does that look very O-y to you? It's kind of O-y. Well, we'll go with that for now. We might end up just making it a solid muzzle and just drawing an O, like a 2-pixel wide O on the front. But we'll go with that for now, I guess. Okay, well, the models appear to be loaded in. I've put them as food items because I don't know if I mentioned this in an earlier video, but before we were using hose and the tools for our items because you've got them all there, and it's almost like you've got a model item. It's like a special item which you give it a property and it changes its texture, which is great. It's really handy, awesome in every way except one. Especially because when you are looking in your files, all of the models are named what they actually are, whereas with the food, the models are called cooked beef and stuff like that, which makes it a bit harder to read. The reason I'm not using it is because the Samasaurus made a video showing that if you have lots and lots of custom damage variants on a tool, it causes a lot of lag, like a frame drop for the player. So unfortunately, at least until that's fixed, we have to kind of stay away from using too many of those. So instead we're going to use the food items because these heads are going to be on an armor stand. It's never going to be in the player's hand. We may as well use items which the player can use first, because there's no food system in this game. So the raw beef, we're never going to need to have the unique property of raw beef, which is it can be eaten as a thing. So we're going to use it up now, kind of thing. So we've got the different mouth shapes probably here. They're kind of hiding the fish above. I need to change the offset on that really. Let's try putting them on the head of an armor stand and see what happens. Oh, I need to put my dev pack on. I can't really see what I'm doing. Well, it's sitting on the head and it's displaying as a model, so that's pretty good. That's like it worked the first time. That never happens. Let's get the different mouth shapes in and label them, and we'll use replace item on this armor stand to put them in. There we go. So we've got these command blocks here, which are replace iteming the item on the head slot here, and you can see that each one modifies the shape of the mouth. That's pretty cool, right? Okay, so the sound recordings, the sound clips for the first scene of Foxy Boxes have been sent to me by my voice actors for Raposa and Renard. So I've taken a short clip from Gladrick's sound recordings for Renard, and I've set it up with a little system here, which is going to play the sound. It's going to summon a sound stream armor stand up here, and it's going to teleport that sound stream armor stand this way once a tick, and kill it when it touches wool. So here's the clip I've chosen, and you can see the armor stand heading over to the wool and then dying when it reaches the wool.
We have to go. Come on.
So what we can do now is at the appropriate points in this line, we can put a command block which activates the correct mouth shape for that action in line. So that first, the we is going to be compromising of the O sound, so that's the woo, and then we will change it straight to the E, which is this one here, E. We have to go, and we have to find out where on this line that actually starts to play. So I've set this to block data auto 0, and then this will be a change command, and this will cause the sound stream armor stand to block data, the command block under it to have an auto of 1 as it goes by. So this is where I think the W is going to start, and we is pretty quick, so I imagine our E will go pretty shortly after it. So we're going to copy the E from here, and we're going to try putting it here. Might be a bit too quick, and we'll push the button and see how it looks.
We have to go. Come on. We have to go. Come on. We have to go. Come on.
Did I get the wrong shape for the Wii, or does it just move too quickly? I don't think that's the right shape.
We have to go. Come on.
Looks about right though. Okay. Then the H and have is pretty much the same mouth shape as the E, so have, I think it'll go back here for the A. Have to go.
We have to go. Come on.
Needs to be quicker.
We have to go. Come on. We have to go. Come on. We have to go. Come on.
All right, here we go.
We have to go. Come on.
That's not bad, right? Ignoring the sort of flashing muzzle because of the texturing issues I've been having, but that's not bad.
We have to go. Come on. We have to go. Come on. We have to go. Come on.
I actually use the L shape with the tongue for come on, because you've got the sort of the for the N sound, you've got the thing lifted up. So this is the entire length of that short little voice clip, and you begin to get an idea of the gravity of this project when it comes to voice to lip syncing. Some cases we will obviously have dialogue with Raposa in first person. We won't be able to see her lips, which will be nice. There'll be some cases where we are being we're running away from things and we can't see the front of Renard's head, in which case we can skip them. But if anyone can think of a way of automating this process, or maybe this is something that board community members can help out with, let me know.
We have to go. Come on.
But that's what I have time for, because
we have to go. Come on.
So I'm going to end the episode here for today. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think of everything. Let me know if you have any suggestions about the texture mapping issue I've been having. Or I know that there are alternative ways of doing this using delay commands instead of spacing them like this, but very curious to see what you guys think. One more time.
We have to go. Come on.
Alright, see you next time, guys. Bye.